Hello YouTube. I'm just trying out some more of this vlogging thing, trying to get more comfortable with the camera and using my webcam instead of my phone, and I have a better microphone than the webcam microphone, but honestly I'm too lazy to set it up right now. So I talked a little bit in my first attempt at a vlog that I talked a little bit about I've been trying out different kinds of online content, and I talked about I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I don't think I really got to anything I've been thinking about the most, and probably why the video didn't get too many views, honestly, 'cause I wasn't quite being honest with what I'm doing here, because to be honest, I've still been I've been hesitating about really putting everything out there. I guess being a millennial, at the time I was younger, at the time I was growing up, people were still kind of, some people still are, but more people were scared of the internet. When I was growing up, people were way more cautious, and like, I see the jokes now, things like, oh, well, before it was, oh, don't meet anybody off of the internet at all, they're all axe murderers or something, but now we meet strangers off of the internet and get in their cars. So times have changed, but it takes our mindsets longer to change than the times really do if we grew up at the time when people were more scared of these new things. And I really shouldn't be as scared of saying stuff online. Just, I have this idea in my head that even though in reality people don't really care that much or even look up what you say really, unless you're some celebrity, but that's a different story. I have to get the idea straight in my mind that a lot of people put stupid stuff up on YouTube and whatever, and it's not really a big deal anymore. But especially with my interest in working in the mental health field, I've been overly cautious about putting things out there. But I've seen things like, I've read for a long time now about therapists even using video games as therapy, and I've seen stuff like the Psych Show on YouTube with, he is a therapist and he's on YouTube, but I had too much of an idea of I need to separate different kinds of my life. Like, I had the idea that if I do some silly shit online, then people won't take me seriously and I won't get a job, and I was really worried about that for a long time. So sometimes, well, I've always been interested in doing more stuff like this, but I was overly cautious about it, and now, honestly, after I've had a lot of trouble finding a job, both because, well, a lot of reasons, it's hard for anybody my age, millennials, plus I like writing anyway, so I've been doing writing and art freelance, and it would help me a lot if you would look into that, if you could buy any of my art on Redbulb or anything like that, because it's my main source of personal income right now, other than I get help from family. But what I've been trying to say here is, at this point, well, I'm turning 30 in a week or so, and at this point in my life, fuck it, basically. Like, I'm tired of feeling like I need to hide who I am to get employment or to get people to like me. Fuck it, I want to do this, and I've been thinking about moving my career more towards technology, because it's something I've always been interested in, but with my getting my psychology degree and my degree in mental health counseling, I never agreed with the technophobia I saw from a lot of other people involved with that. I never agreed with it, but there was this idea that that it somehow wasn't as legitimate that I'm interested so much in technology, because there's so much shitting on it, basically. All this talk of video game addiction, even though I grew up with video games and I've never gone on a shooting spree. I don't drink blood from a skull every morning. I mean, I have a drink now and then of whiskey or wine or whatever, though even that I used to hide from the public, like thinking people are going to judge me about it. But in reality, as long as you don't show up to work drunk or whatever, people don't really care. Though in the cybersecurity field, which I'm more interested in going into now, especially social engineering, because that's related to psychology, it seems much more accepted there than among therapists. So let's be honest here, therapists definitely need a drink now and then. It's a tough line of work. But especially with working with people who have substance abuse issues, which, yes, it shouldn't be taken completely lightly, can be a huge issue. I feel like even though I'm sure there are people who drink within the mental health field, it's more hush-hush. It's, yeah, you don't talk about that. And I'm just sick of that kind of attitude with work. Like, and it's not that I didn't try. I applied to a lot of jobs. I had a lot of interviews, and it just didn't work out. And I still want my therapist licensure at some point, but there's so many hoops to jump through at this point, at least for a couple of years. I want to just say fuck it to that, and that's okay. So fuck a video. I don't know. That's, I wasn't sure where I was going with this video, and honestly, it still scares me a little bit to actually be upfront online, because there was so long of these ideas in my head that basically I had to hide to be accepted or to be taken seriously, and I'm tired of living like that. And I've talked about it some on social media, but it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I was diagnosed as autistic, and Asperger's is what it used to be called, but technically by definition, and I know all the technicalities because I've studied psychology, the DSM-5 and all that, technically it's all autism spectrum disorder now, and I don't quite agree with that, and even amongst psychologists it was controversial, but anyway, rambling is part of the disorder. But I wasn't diagnosed with that until I was in my 20s, and I'm nearly 30 now, and it's only now that I really accept it, because that's a lot of why, even though I believe in the importance of the mental health field, I have some distrust of it, because really in a lot of ways it didn't help me. It led to further problems when I was told I was bipolar instead of autistic, and I'm not. And if I hadn't done my own research, if I hadn't advocated for myself, I would still have a very wrong idea of who I am, and that's not right. That's not okay. I don't think that's ethical, and it happens to so many other people, and I'm not sure I want to focus on a career in a field that I don't quite believe in anymore. And I have had some therapy help me, but a lot of it only led to more issues, honestly. And I know it's the same case for other people, and especially with all of the budget cuts lately in the United States, a lot of people who need mental health help most don't even have access to it. And I felt for a long time when my job search was tough that I was being held back from helping people, but there are other ways to help people. Even, like, I don't care so much anymore if people shit on technology, because this helps people just talking about things. And so that's the sort of thing I want to do here. And I mentioned I'm working towards doing cybersecurity and social engineering for a new career path, and that's something that for the first time in a few years now, I'm actually excited about job prospects again, because it just became an endless slog for the past few years of not feeling good enough because, oh, everybody else has more experience, so we'll hire them, and I'm tired of that, and I'm tired of feeling like I'm somehow less than when I tried to get work, and through circumstances outside of my control I didn't, and I know a lot of people around my age are feeling that way, and I think it's time to stop hiding that I felt that way, and to stop hiding that I've felt basically betrayed by some parts of the mental health system, even though I have degrees related to it. It is a betrayal. That's not the wrong word for it. And I'm just tired of pretending that everything's okay about that, but because I had ideas for so long that I had to hide, this is still a little scary to say, but the things that are most important tend to be that way, so it's time to say this stuff. And I didn't really think about how to end this video, but I guess that's a good point to end on, so like, comment, subscribe, etc. Leave hate comments if you want, I'll ignore them, yada yada. Well, guess that's about it for the day. I'll see if being more straight up with this works out better for me, and probably will. I mean, people have been responding to me better when I've said how I actually feel, which sometimes it leads me into trouble, honestly, because people don't like the truth sometimes. But I'm feeling a lot better about myself in this not hiding anymore thing, and we'll see where it goes.